Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Cole Obarts Entertainment, providing amusement, celebration, and distraction since 2013. To find out more, visit us on the web at www.coleobartsent.com.
I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days, and we have an fabulous guest for you today. She's a jewelry designer. Yes, jewelry designer. We love jewelry, don't we? So let's welcome our next guest, Ms. Catherine Newkirk. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good,
How
good
are
to see you. Catherine Newkirk Dickson. I left off
Yes.
the Dickson there.
That's okay. Newkirk is my maiden name.
Oh.
So Dixon's my formerly married. It will eventually go to just Newkirk, but I have kept the Dickson around just so that people could still find me who knew me as that before.
Right, and you know how social media is. I mean, there may be a
Exactly.
million Catherine Newkirks.
Right.
Hopefully not, but you never know.
Right, exactly.
Yes, but how have you been?
I've been good. I wanted to start. I have a special little gift for
Oh,
you.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm not going to open it right now.
Oh,
unless
go ahead.
You want
Go
me to?
ahead and open it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll want to see it.
Okay. And it has a pretty bag. Let's see what we have here. Wow. Oh, those are beautiful. I know you guys won't be able to see them, but they are beautiful earrings. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. Let's see. Oh, and we got the matching necklace. Oh, my goodness. They will be getting worn for the holiday season.
Those are
Yeah.
from my brand new line that just launched a few weeks ago, actually. So
Oh,
yeah.
Is there a name for the
It's
first
just under Lighthouse Styling and Beauty.
Lighthouse Styling and Beauty? Okay, that is awesome. That is so. Is this a seasonal launch or?
I haven't decided that yet. I think there will be certain pieces from it that will stay as keystone pieces,
Okay.
like the earrings that I'm wearing.
Oh, those are
Certain
very
pieces
pretty.
that are really popular or that resonate with models or with customers specifically, those will probably stay.
Okay.
While other pieces will probably change out throughout. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, I like to always, and this isn't going to change, I like to start off giving my audience a little gist of who you are. Can you tell us, who is Catherine? Where are you originally from?
Well, I am Arizona born and raised.
Whoop, whoop.
Absolutely. I escaped for about 8 years and went up to Idaho and got to enjoy, 4 seasons. But then came back here because since I was born and raised here, obviously family's here.
Yes.
So Arizona is probably where I will stay for quite some time.
I say that same thing, yes.
But I definitely have roving eyes. Being Arizona raised, I love the 4 seasons and love the snow and all of those things. So have roving eyes to places that would have that and, rolling hills and stuff like that. So, but I love Arizona because it has all the mountains and mountains have always been where I get my strength. So this will probably be where I stay for a while. So, yeah.
So what was it that got Catherine into designing jewelry? Where did this come from?
So I started out in direct sales.
Okay.
And of jewelry. And my original intention and design of that business and reason for going into that business was to allow other people to feel beautiful, to help give them the tools and resources they needed.
Right.
And what I found was that being direct sales, it was driven by, in order to keep your business rolling, you have to make money. You have to do the sales. and I didn't want that to be the focus.
Mhm.
So I had to kind of go back and think, okay, well, do I want to sell jewelry at all, or do I want to go a different avenue? And so what I did is I took the inventory that I had from that and allowed myself to bring in other sources as well, not just that one single source, and then begin to rent it and use it to style and to, so that's where Lighthouse became this own um, little child, so to speak. It's grown with me. So it's allowed me to not have to focus solely on sales.
Right.
Obviously, you have to do that to keep your business going. But I was able to focus on my vision and my mission, which was empowering others to feel beautiful, to feel confident, to have the resources they needed, so that they didn't have to, find a place to store the jewelry or feel like they didn't deserve to have something beautiful simply because they didn't have that in their pocketbook at the time.
And you know what? I love that you do that, because a lot of times it's just like us women in our closets. A lot of time we have shoes that's been sitting in there forever that goes unworn, or clothing that goes unworn, and let alone the jewelry.
Right. Exactly.
So why have that sitting there and not being able to make someone feel beautiful to be able to wear it? So
and
I love
that was what I was seeing, was I would have all this inventory from direct sales or from this sort of thing, and they were beautiful pieces, very high quality, but people would go spend money on something that was less expensive, and which is fine. I'm a bargain shopper too. I totally love that. But at the same time, it was like, how do I get this on women? How do I use the resources and the tools that I have to give that to other people, and still have a business that I can keep moving? And so obviously when people rent the jewelry or come to me for styling, they love the pieces. So I couldn't get away from selling, because and ultimately people would come to me, I love this piece, how can I keep it? How can I add it?
And that's the way it should go.
Exactly. You should love what you're wearing.
That is true.
And so I still ended up having that portion of my business.
And so you were in direct sales, but before direct sales, you were feeling something else, and you mentioned it, the empowerment of other people and helping build up confidence in people. Where did that come from?
Wow. That takes me way back. I have that's always kind of been where I have come from. Really, as early as I can remember. I remember back in junior high, I was a volunteer at the hospital, and most young kids, they find a volunteer location because they have to do that for school or that sort of a thing. And it was part of a requirement for school, but my mom connected me into the hospital, and what ended up happening is, before I knew it, I was assisting in training all the other junior volunteers and creating that program and building that program. So I was designing all of the marketing to go out to the schools and these training classes for all of the junior volunteers, and then actually taking them up to the units and teaching them, here's how you make the bed, here's how so doing all those things that they would need and the resources that they would need. So here's who you talk to, here's what you need, here's all the paperwork. So I've done that really as long as I can remember. So,
and you know what, that is one thing that we tend to not realize when we're doing it, that most things that we're doing is because it comes from somewhere in here, and it's always aligned with the other. I mean, it may be jewelry, but that jewelry is fulfilling that need you had to help other people. And that is what you're doing.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And so now where it's gone to is the designing of the jewelry, because I'd find like a necklace here or earrings over here, and I wouldn't find exactly what would match up, and wanted to still be able to provide people with that style.
Right.
And so I'd look high and low, couldn't exactly find anything to match it. And I finally sat down one day and I was like, why am I not making it? I know what it needs to look like.
Right.
I know what the vision is and what the look is that they're going to be looking for to create. So why am I not just making that? And so I sat down one day and made my very first pair of earrings. And after the first pair, it was like, oh, this isn't that hard at all. I should totally be doing it.
Wow.
So it just kind of launched into its own little animal in and of itself.
Wow.
So now I'm able to actually sit down with people and really talk about, okay, so what is your vision? What would you like for that look? And so now I can actually cater what the piece looks like to the look that they're after, which I never, you never anticipate that.
Right.
You never
That is
really think
awesome.
about that when you're thinking, oh, okay, I'll design a piece. And
Right.
okay, so you get to a point where you've designed all the pieces that are in your brain and that you're happy with at that moment, and then it's like, oh, but now I can partner with other people and do it. So
I love that. How was that process for you?
It's actually very natural. I didn't anticipate it being that way. So literally, I will sit down in front of my little supplies and just kind of begin creating, begin putting color combinations together. And so I would pull out, a couple pendants when I was doing the earrings, pull out a couple pendants, and it was like the colors would just pop into my head. So, and I'm very much, when I started doing the designing, I wanted there to be a lot of sparkle, a lot of color. I did not want it to be, yes, but I also wanted it to be very classic. Like these ones remind me of a chandelier in a cathedral. And so I wanted it to be very classy and upscale
They
how
do
it
remind me
appears.
of the Orpheum.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gone to the Orpheum? It's so beautiful in there. They do remind me of the Orpheum.
And so an old chandelier, and just the amount of sparkle that comes off of that. So like for instance, last night I was putting together part of a necklace. So this is the jewel part of a necklace. I don't know if people can really see it. But that's the jewel part, and then the chain will be attached to that.
That's beautiful.
But the pieces and the colors just like it's like they fall into place.
Yeah.
So it's very much when it's the right time for something, and when you're in your lane and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, everything just falls into place.
That is true.
From everything from financing to the color schemes, they just fall into place. And I've seen a lot of that within my life and my world lately. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah. You know what? As long as you're making people happy, they're coming back. And as long as you're happy with what you're putting out,
exactly,
you're doing the right thing.
Exactly,
you're doing the right thing. So, you just started working on some holiday jewelry. So, where do you pull your ideas from? Where did this creativity come from?
I pull it from things that I've seen. Movies that I've seen. I watch a lot of old movies, the old classic movies. And I mean, you gotta love Audrey Hepburn's jewelry. And
I love everything about Audrey Hepburn.
Exactly. She was so classy. And so a lot of those classic looks, because a lot of those classic looks come back around. And that's what I have a lot of my models and other designers and so forth asking for.
So who comes to a Catherine Newkirk Dickson for jewelry?
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. I've had coworkers come to me for jewelry. I've had models. I've had other designers. I've had people of every socioeconomic, yeah, I lost that word.
We got
all different kinds of backgrounds. There we go. It really is very diverse, which I love.
Yeah,
I don't have, and you can
Do
see
you
that
work
when you
if
look
someone
at my
said,
styling.
"This is my budget"? You work for towards their budget,
Yes,
but they want something.
absolutely.
Okay.
So I've even had models, send me pictures of dresses and say, here's the dress I'm working with, here's the budget I'm after. Can we do something that's within that budget?
Oh.
And like I had one model come to me and she wanted the jewelry for her wedding, and asked for me to go shop for her. And so those kinds of things are very special. I have people of all different kinds of backgrounds. You can see that when you look at my pictures of what I've styled and who I've styled. It's not all the same look. I have some looks that are very 1920s, the black and white, the pearls, flapper dresses type of thing. And then I have some looks that are, we did an angel wing photo shoot where it's out on the Salt River, and we had the wings on and styling that, which was very contemporary. And
so you style for all people,
absolutely.
Pretty much. So is there a piece that you created that's just on your heart? I mean, you love that piece so much.
I think actually this one.
Okay.
This one is one of my favorites.
Oh.
This one and these earrings.
Oh.
Because this one has a little backstory. So I have always loved fringe. Always loved fringe. And so as I was getting started designing, and I also love pearls.
Oh.
And so as I was getting started designing, I found the little pink and gray pearls. And I also had the chain. And so I was sitting there making all of my designs, and then one day I was sitting there and I went, oh, I wonder if the pearls would actually fit on here. And they did.
Oh.
Okay. All right, well, let's go with this. Let's see where this is going. And so I kind of started to pair it with the pendant. And this pendant, you can see, is kind of different because it has the 3 different little spots where it could have something hanging from it. And I started to put a fringe. I thought, okay, well, let's play with fringe. I love fringe. Let's play with the fringe, see what would happen. So I put it in the middle. And then I put the pearls on either side, and I went, I don't really like that. It's not very balanced. And then I put the fringe on either side, and it popped. It was like, this is what it's supposed to look like. And so I went running into the other room to tell my roommate. I was like, I just did a fringe. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I was able to put a fringe on there. So when I get pieces like that I've experimented on, that I've played with, that I've worked hard at, I am like this little girl, this little young elementary school age kid, because I'm so excited about what I just created.
Yes. And that shows the love for your work.
Yes.
And the love that you put into it, not just the love for it, but the love that you put into that. And you know what? That is what your customers and your friends and family are going to feel, and they're going to feel that same love wearing that jewelry. And I'm going to feel it too when I wear it. I just have to find the right outfit to wear with it, and I'm going to be posting all over the place.
Awesome. Yay. I can't wait to see it on you. Yes. I think it'll be perfect for you.
So. You know what? That is amazing, because I totally love what you're doing, because, again, like I said, we live in a time of waste. And things go, and we buy stuff, we just buy, and then we wear things one time, and things just sit in our closet, and there's so many people that can be utilizing those things.
Right.
And I love that you were giving them that opportunity to be able to be beautiful and even if they can't afford it, they may be beautiful for a day because they're wearing it in a show or something like
Right.
that.
Absolutely.
So I love what you are doing.
Yeah, it works fantastic for weddings, for proms. Oh my goodness, how many times have we had our daughters, our nieces, our cousins, they get all dressed up for their
Yeah.
winter formal or for prom. And
Right.
the last thing that you always think about is the jewelry.
Right.
But that is the thing that finishes the outfit, that
Do-
can give you that.
Do you
extra little
accessorize
pieces.
men also?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
I had, Moni,
Mm-hmm.
and she and her son came to my booth during Arizona Fashion Week,
Uh-huh.
and I was running the hub. So I had a booth there all 14 days of Arizona Fashion Week. And so they came to my booth one of the days, and her son put on this necklace and bracelet set that I had. And I never would have, I will be honest, I never would have pictured that on a man.
Well,
Never in a million years would have imagined putting that on a man. And he saw it, he loved it, he put it on, and it was like, oh my gosh, that was
Wow.
made for you.
That's awesome. Well, so where can our audience find you?
They can find me at www.lighthouse-sbc, so Styling Beauty Consultants.com.
Okay.
They can also find me on Instagram and on Pinterest, on Facebook, on you name it.
Okay. Awesome.
But all of those outlets, all they have to do is look up Lighthouse Styling and Beauty.
Okay.
And so it's just
It
the name.
was such a pleasure to have you with
It
us
was
here
a lot of fun to
today.
be here.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us. And we will catch you next time on Desertwood Days.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Cole, Obart's Entertainment. Providing amusement, celebration, and distraction since 2013. To find out more, visit us on the web at www.coleobarts.com.